Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in the last video, so far we have done to config with Angular with Firebase and lead three matches on the app. And so today I'm going to create another tutorial about Firebase login and register. So let's get started. I'm going to modify a bit in a CSS, so we have a remove margin and padding from in the body of app. And I want to move the logout button to right the app. So simply do. So app toolbar future place 0 0 1 and out. Okay, so now the button should be on the right side. And in app.component.html, so we set a class user button, user action button, and for now it's just login. So login, and we now start a menu button look better. It's button the right. Okay, it should better. Cool. And so we get back to Angular 5 documentation. We have Angular 5.2. And we check inside document folder and we do have a user authentication. And let's config in. So we do open app.module.ts by initialize a fb config. So it should be equal. And now we hit command, hit control and space, and again. And it's in my development tool, it's automatically imports. Okay. Now we set the Firebase out config. Okay, the app should be refreshed. Okay. So now we need to go to Firebase control, and in authentication we also need to sign in methods tab, and currently it's disabled and now want to enable it. And so I'm going to use this only email and password login, so use that. We can use a password. Okay. And so in apps.component.html, the login button, now I'm set in action to login by click to a login new. And so we need to write a new function login in app.component.ts. So login. Okay, so I want to use a a material.angular.url component. I'm going to use a dialog. So that's a simple dialog, and you can use a document here. Okay. So plus Firebase dialog, material design dialog. Okay, so this is just dialog. Firebase dialog. Open a. So I'm going to generate a new component. We create a new folder inside the user, and now open new tab in my terminal. I'm going to generate ng general component inside folder user with a login. So we have a login component, it's created, and open login component. So when I hit that, the tool is automatically imports login component and top. And we do have a config. For example, I can type width equal default width a 500 pixel. Okay. So let's see in. Okay, open. Check in console. So no component factory file. So that means we didn't set in and try component in module. So let's set it die in login component. Okay. Okay, commas here. One again. Login. Okay, login work. Cool. So we do need to inside our login.component.html. For example, now I'm going to create a form with ng form, and so right now the class equal form group. Okay, so I'm going to create a md input container. It has reset class equal full width, and so input type equal text. Login, I think we use email, and name equal email. Okay, placeholder email. Okay, so copy that, and it should be title password, and the name now should be password. And we do have a button button a md button, and try equal submit, and it's login. Okay, so let's see in front. Okay, so it worked, and the input there an error, so I may submit it. Okay, input md input. Okay, it still happened. It should be md input. Okay, one again. Okay, so it's really cool. For example, we can leave empty. Okay, and we set to the field should be full width, and now add new class to dot full width should be width equal 100%. Okay, again login. Okay, really cool. And let's check out the button in show we more example. So I'm going to user button start. Add click and empty raises button. So login and the okay. So when again refresh up. Okay, so we have a login button. And now I'm going to create a new folder by model, and we do define a user class object by a user.model.ts. This new TypeScript. Export class user. We have a prep ID should be optional, and string will be string. Copy that. We have a first name, a string as well, and we have a last name string. We have an email should be a string, different password string. Okay, so and we have a avatar should be string. Okay, let's close this. And now in login component, we do define a new private user and type of user object user. Okay, so you can see it's automatically imported user model and equal new user. So right now we could able to add in login HTML. We do have a ng model should be user email. So copy that for real quick, and placeholder now it should be password. Okay, so ng password. So when we do submit, now I'm going to add a new function to ng submit equal on login. So now we also need to create a new function on login inside login.component.ts on login. So now this console I want to log the user data after user submit the form. Okay, so a user data. Okay, now refresh up. Now open that. And for example, I enter email and password, anything. And now I'm submit login. You can see user data with the user object with email and password. Okay, really cool. So we can use this to login, and I think we could do this. Div lab equal matrix and p a error matrix, and inside this matrix will be string. And okay, so we do private Angular face or we can use okay, Angular phrases. Okay, so on login we can do this. This does Angular phrase does out does say login. Okay, login. So we can click in this function. We can do login with email and password. Login. So let's data equal a user email. This dot user dot email password dot user dot password. Okay, so that's login data. And now inside app component, now I will do add new listen this dot angular file dot r dot sprite data equal like log to console and see hey there sorry authentication data data. Okay, so let's wait for the app refresh. You can see. So by default now it's all the authentication data is empty, it's null. And now I want to log in and submit. Okay, test, something like that. And we see an error. User may detect. Okay. Okay, press that. And that means right now the user did not exist. So I'm going to create a test user. For example, I want to add a new user, and the password should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Add user. Okay, so now we do again. Okay, clear log and submit login again. Okay, so right now we are logged in. So the user object now with user ID, and so ID. So we can able log console.log a user ID. Now it should be all data dot user dot UID. Okay, so one again. Okay, so right now after the login, so Firebase store our login data in browser, and you can refresh the app. And now is the user ID. It should be appear here. That means you are now logged in. Okay. So login. And so we do a logout, login, and app.component. So button md button class equals user action button and logout. Okay, we sign out, and we set a function when it's click to log out by logout, and we have a define a new function in app.component.th by function logout, and g.r Angular5.out.signout logout. Okay, logout. I think it should be logout. Let's check in document and we can see site R is logout. Okay, so it should be logout. This are okay. And so now we should be refreshed. So there are two apps, and we do use this key. So okay, in app cloud task, in app document with user for okay, user ID should be string and equal, and user ID equal our data uid. So if the user ID is not null, that means the user now are logged in. So in app component, so we need to ng if user ID and let's try again, and also and if ng if is not user ID, so we can do that. So right now you can see the user now are logged in, and we see login, we sign out, and cannot read property because the authentication now is our data now is null, so that means if our data. So simply we can set our and read slash for easy to write if our. So in y is right our user ID our key, or simply we can do like that. G does one line of code equal if chase r equal r dot uid, otherwise we set to nulls. Okay, so I can remove that, and I want to remove that as well. Okay, so we have login again, my email address and password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and login, sign out. But after login, I want to close this module. So how we do that? One submit, and can do validation before I submit, right? If this.user is user dot email, if not user email, or this dot user dot password, or not this dot matters, a email and password are required, and should be returned. Okay, we don't do that, and okay, and we do like this. This does Angular5 does r does supply a r if this if oh, that means user log, and now this dot dialog. Okay, so I will do Firebase dialog refer code dialog, sorry, md dialog refer a login component, and right now we can do like this: sit dialog log refer dot cloud log refer dot cloud. I think like that. Let's check a cloud. Okay, we have a cloud function. Okay, again. Try out and login and a 1, 2 again. Okay, really cool. So right now I am login, and so we have a dance login function. So let's move to register. I'm going to create a new button, register. Okay, let's close Auth tab, and inside login component, I'm going to create a new, or let's copy that for real quick. Button should be md button. Choose type now is a button. We don't submit the data. That's a register. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have a register, and right now click here. We no action, and we do add a new function, a register, Okay, so inside login component, I will add a new function register. So right now in the app, I want to generate a new component that's register and the general component. So the new component will be inside user folder, so user and register. Okay, so register is generated. So we also need to add register component in app.module, and register component hit enter, and right is automatically imported in my development tool. Okay, let's close app.module, and we do also we want to write it live for easy to adjust. Private a dialog by md dialog. Okay, you can see it automatically imports as well. So before open new register component, I think we should be clear dialog refer those clear. That means we clear the login model and open new one. This dot dialog does open a register component, a which config should be with. For example, now it's 100 pixel. Okay, so let's see. We click to login, and if I don't have an account, so I can register here. Register. Okay, it works. Really cool. Okay. And so now we need to do in the register component the same. So the register component, I'm going to copy or just from login and pass here. So we also match and user. So in register component we do methods. Methods should be string, and right now it's null, and user object, and should be import from model and equal new user, new empty user account. Okay, so in register we do have our own register, so let's copy that and define a new function in on register, and we console log z.user. Okay, when user submits a form, we can log to the console. And right now we don't okay, so remove that. A register. Okay, so we do have a password email. Okay, so let's do that. Register, and we do have a email password, something like that. So I want to guess more the user, so let's copy that. So should be test, and the name should be a first name, user dot first name, and copy that for us last name, last name, and last name. Okay, and let's see, login or register. So we do have a first name and last name and email and password. And right now click to register, and we see user now admin. This is automatically. And now reference for return when. So me.com password for something like that. Okay, so after submit the register form, we do have a user data information. So how we do create an account to Firebase? Okay, so inside user app, a user, we have one account I have created before, and now I'm going to user. That's for example now. On register, inside register component, this dot Angular file. Okay, so we don't have an Angular file right now. We need to private Angular file, Angular files, file.ro.create user. Create user. Let's open that, and we can see create user a email and password. So we do have an email and password only. So let's data equal user email. So z.user.email password z.user.password, and create a user with data and okay. Okay, then so right now like that, and we also listen in real time. For example, z.angularfile.arrow.supply arrow equal okay, this a console.log all data arrows. Okay, so right now let's try the register, for example Toran Nguyen, and email my Tom is me.com, password 128. and register. Okay, so when the user has been created and our data, we should be return a user ID. And now you can see in I want to refresh. Okay, so we have a term does me come here. So and if data these are a now we close the register a model. So this does okay. So I want to do it like that. Private dialog refer md dialog refer a register component and this dialog refer a refer does close. Okay, so we move that. And one again we log in register a test one a test and test me.com one okay and register cool really cool and that's the user automatically login after the register. So let's refresh user and we can see test.me.com. So right now in the authentication of Firebase, we can't see the first name or last name or something like or the field you want to set belong to user. So and how we do store a user data information. So let me show you how to do that. So we do have this last user ID equal our dot uid. So okay, so now I want to create a new in database and create a new something like this. For example, user and we have a user ID something ID and we do have a first name and something like that. I want to do like that. So let's close it and this does Angular file does okay. So let's check in document. Okay, get back to doc folder and we do see register query list a always insert register database. I think we treated the database. So do set okay set a name update saver data database.update. Okay, so cast user equal Firebase as z.angular file dot database sorry dot database dot update. Let's copy that. This does a user and we do have a user ID plus with user ID and user dot set. The value now it should be a user data. Let user data equal this dot user and user dot. So I want to I think we do like this. A new object. Okay. First name equal u.user dot first name, and last name u.user dot last name, and avatar should be u.user dot avatar. Okay, so we do have u.user dot set user data. Okay, something like that. And so one thing I need to add avatar into register form. So for example, I can copy that email password and a avatar and profile picture URL. So in the later video, I can show you how to upload the user avatar. However, right now we set that for URL at now. So user.avatar. Okay, so get back to register component. And so we verify, okay, user, and okay, I think it should be good. Okay, I want to user avatar URL tagging. Want to find. Okay. View image. Something. Okay. Copy image location. Right now, I want to sign out and log in, register again. So John, username should be John Smith. Profile picture. Email john@me.com. Password 1234567 and register. Okay, so let's check in our database, Firebase database. Okay, so right now you can see a user equals with this is user ID, and we have data information. Okay, so it's working really cool. So bye for now, and thanks for watching. I will do a next video soon.